Okay, I'm officially on the Tecumseh Trail. Took us a minute once we got here to figure out where exactly the trail had started. I thought it was right across from the Forest Park Service office, but as it turns out it was just at the next parking area south of the office. So keep that in mind if you come down here to do this. There was a nice little paved path that connected the two trails, so not a big deal. I just followed that. Knew it had to be close by. I was following my All Trails app, which comes in so handy when you're trying to find trailheads. So I'm officially on it. Hey guys, it is March 6th. I just got off duty and I'm headed down south a little ways to Morgan Monroe State Park, or State Forest, I'm sorry, just south of Martinsville, Indiana. I am going to be hiking the Tecumseh Trail over the next 3 days. Super excited. Trish is out west working right now, so I'm just here by myself. Yesterday was my birthday and I thought, you know what, there's nothing I would rather do than go on a few days backpacking trip. Just get back out into nature, out into the forest. It's been a few months now since I've been able to do anything like that, so I'm really excited. Meeting my dad at the end of the trail down on Crooked Creek River Road, I think, something like that. I'll put what the actual name is down below, but I'm gonna meet him down there at the end of the trail, and then he's gonna take me up north to the Morgan Monroe State Forest Park office to the beginning. So I'm really excited. We are looking to do 13.9 miles today. It's about a little after 2 o'clock on March 6th. I have a feeling I'm going to run out of daylight before I reach my goal, but I'm pushing to get to Fox Den shelter tonight. It's about 13.9 miles there from the trailhead start. Set up camp there and then push on to Yellowwood Forest tomorrow. So like I said, I'm going to try to do 13.9 miles today. I've got about, I don't know, 6 hours of daylight, so I'll see if I can get that done. About 48 degrees. It is absolutely beautiful. Feels like a spring day here on March 6th in Indiana. Tecumseh Trail, Morgan Monroe State Forest is where I'm starting, and I will end down in Yellowwood State Forest. So absolutely beautiful trail here. I'm really excited to get out here, spend a few days on the trail. Not a lot of people. There's several cars in the parking lot, so maybe some day hikers, or maybe I'll see some people tonight, so we will see. So I'm a little over 2 miles in the trail, and I'm actually really surprised. So far the majority of it's been on this old logging road, access road, gravel, not too bad. So pretty easy going of it, a little over 2 miles in the first 45 minutes or so. It's such a freaking beautiful day. So far I've only seen 5 people. There's an older gentleman walking his dog, and then I just passed some 4 older gentlemen on a day hike, so pretty much have the trail to myself, and I cannot ask for a better day. It's awesome.
When I woke up this morning, found everything in place. The birds were singing pretty songs, the sun kissed me on my face. And it feels so good to be alive, it feels so good to see the light. I got this sudden feeling like now's the time to start. I got a big idea in my head, I got a dream down in my heart. And I'm praying that she'll help me now, I'm praying that she'll show me how. Saying be all you can be. You gotta keep the truth in your heart. Believe when you can't see. You don't see the sign, give it time. Won't reach the top without the climb. It's hard, I promise not to quit. And it feels so good to be alive. It feels so good you're by my side.
I could hear these guys all around, and it took some time to figure out what I was hearing. These frogs are a great reminder that spring is right around the corner. Up to this point, I had the trail pretty much to myself. At about mile 6 or 7, I came across 3 different groups camped along the trail. We greeted each other, talked about my plans for the camp for the night, and I continued on my way. For me, stopping now would prove finishing on time difficult, and I knew I had to push on. Interacting with the different groups reminded me of the past backpacking trips and the great fun I had sharing in these moments with friends. But this trip, I was after a different kind of camaraderie. This will be a trip of mental clarity, spiritual healing, and reflection on the recent passing of a close friend and mentor. Sometimes you have to get alone and quiet to receive the answers you're looking for. Be a pretty good place to camp. Unfortunately, I've got about 7 more miles, 6.5 more miles to do today, but somebody's already gathered some firewood and have a little fire ring going. It's a pretty awesome spot. Pretty cool vantage point. But we're gonna keep moving for today. About 6.5 more miles to Foxton. So just came out of Little Gap Nature Preserve, and we're at Crossroads. Little Gap Trail is that way, and the Tecumseh Trail is this way. So here we go. Looks like a little bit of a gravel service road, a little bit of a hike on. So from what I've read, there's several of these on this trail. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of the road hiking, but this isn't too bad. I'll take it. A little bit of a break. A new shelter that they just recently built here on the trail. Super nice. Trish and I stopped here last summer when we hiked the northern part of the trail. Just an awesome. Really cool. This would be a great spot to stop, especially if you're Nobo. So it's, let me see, about 9.2 miles from the northern terminus of the trail. So keep this in mind as an option for you. These logs keep the door shut. So really nice. It's got a fire pit, picnic table. Really cool. But I've got my sights set a little bit further, so we're gonna keep going. Down there, about 10.5 miles into the trail. I might look at water resupply backside of the dam. Pretty sure the trail crosses the dam here, so but pretty cool view of Bear Lake, Yellowwood State Forest. The miles hiked to Foxton were greater than I anticipated, and after getting a late start, I arrived well after dark. Shivering from the cold and an empty stomach, I made a quick work of lighting a fire and boiling water for supper. I quickly set up camp and prepared for a cold night. Filming had to wait. Getting warm was my priority, and I knew tomorrow would allow more camera time on the trail.
Morning, guys. It's Sunday, March 7th. Super cold. It's about right at 7 a.m. Been up since about 6:15. About 26 degrees right now. Stayed pretty warm all night until about 6 and just got so stinking cold and started shivering. So I'm using a 20-degree hammock gear over quilt and my Nemo tensor sleeping pad. Kept me pretty warm all night. I can't really complain. Did do a lot of filming last evening because I was pushing, trying to get to camp. It ended up being about 1.5 miles farther than I thought it was going to be to get here. Compared to what All Trails said, it was like 13.8. It ended up being just a little over 15. So I'll post the stats on here for you guys to see. But so I'm just sitting here eating some granola and getting some electronics charged up and things like that. Get camp packed up. I'm looking to do about a 20-mile day today to get down to Yellowwood Lake. Not really sure at this point what the actual mileage is going to be with the difference from yesterday. So we will see how that goes. Stay tuned.
Alright guys, so made it through night 1 at the Fox Den shelter. It's really cold last night. I got into camp late, a lot later than I had anticipated. Did about 1.5 hours of night hiking. Got into camp and made a fire real quick just to get myself warmed up. It was in the high 30s when I got here. And then got some dinner made. Got camp set up real quick and just wanted to get warmed up in my shelter. So I didn't do a lot of talking last night or filming, but time was kind of the essence. I got a lot more time today. It's about 7:30 and I'm about to hit the trail. Goal today is about 20 miles to Yellowwood Lake. So let's have a great day. So I passed one of these young forest habitat demonstration areas last night after dark, and I'd hoped to be able to show you guys on video because I've been through there before last year, and it's a really neat thing that the Indiana DNR is putting forth, trying to conserve the 4% of natural forest land that we have left in Indiana, and trying to reintroduce wild habitat and to the wildlife here, the birds, the bobcats, the turtles, all the species here that are native to Indiana, and try to give them their space back. I found the two so far on the trail are on old logging areas where they're planting new trees and trying to give back to the forest. So just a really cool thing. Keep an eye out for. I've read that there are several large boulders found in the treetops within Yellowwood Forest. No one knows exactly how they got there, and I'd be keeping a lookout for them to make my own theories. John Muir once wrote that in every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. These words would ring deep within me as I take the time to escape the everyday mundane and seek to discover a renewal of mind and soul. What better escape than nature? What better teacher of peace than the leaves softly blowing in the gentle breeze? This adventure would prove far more to myself than I could ask. It would prove physical determination, patience in meeting the end goal, the ability to get quiet and listen to that still small voice, and the force that will provide if you're willing to learn its lessons. Look at this place. Okay, so after a long, I think it's about a mile hike up Indian Hill. That climb reminded me a lot of being in Tennessee, hiking up to Mount Cameron, but at any rate, I made it up to Indian Hill Shelter, and this place is really, really nice. I think it's around 19, I think mile 19 or so on the trail. I'll tell you what, this would be an awesome place to camp. Not only do you have a nice shelter with doors, but there's a nice fire ring with big stones to sit on. There's multiple fire pits here, lots of places to camp. It's awesome. It's beautiful. Turned out to be a beautiful day. So. Not sure if this tree is how I'm supposed to get across. Well, there's markers on the other side. But I think I'm going to do a creek crossing instead. There's a tree stand over there. I don't think this is private property. It's kind of interesting. There's the flag. There's a sign up there. Let's go check it out. guess it is private property. Okay.
Alone in my apartment, I should have seen the warning sign. Money don't come easy.
I think it's really important to stop and really explain what I'm doing this trip for. It's not just to do a vlog video of hiking the Tecumseh Trail. This is so much more for me. It's not just hiking a trail, spending a few days out in the wilderness, but this is kind of a, I don't want to call it a soul-searching trip, but just to kind of get back in touch with who I am. Since mid to late 2020, I've kind of lost control of who I am. I've become a man, a daddy, a husband, a generalized person that I'm not proud to be, and I don't recognize the man that's looking at me in the mirror anymore. And so it was really important for me to take the time to get away and get back in tune and in touch with who I am. And the outdoors has a lot to do with the person that I am. So I thought, what better way but to get away from everything else, all the distractions from the outside world, get away from other people. I've barely seen a single soul on this trail other than myself, so it's been really nice to pretty much have the trail to myself, but to get away and to do some soul searching, spend some time with God, spend some time in the place that I love more than any other place, out in the wilderness, in the woods. That's my heaven. So this trip isn't just about a vlog. It's about reconnecting with who I am and the man that I've lost over the last 6 months to a year. So anyway, I just wanted to explain to you guys why there's not a whole lot of content on the trail. Number one, there's not a lot of picturesque stop and take in the sights on this trail. It's more of just accomplishment of doing 41, 42 miles. it's not that kind of video. So anyway, I wanted to kind of explain that and what this is all about. So I really appreciate you guys giving me the time and following along. It means the world. And if there's anything I can do to help anybody else change that's going through similar things, there's nothing more I'd rather do. So God bless you guys. I appreciate it. So a quick tour of the sleeping system I'm using before it gets too dark out. I am using Trish and I's Marmot Super Alloy 2-person ultralight tent. So far this thing's been really great. We used it on our trip out west last September, and it worked out great for us, and I'm using it now. It's got, I like it a lot because it's got these doors on both sides with our independent awnings. So I'm using the brand new Nemo tensor that Trish got me for my birthday as my sleeping pad. This thing's great. It's got 3.5 R value to it. It's got 3 inches of thickness, and I slept great on it last night. I got inflatable pillow with a cotton cover on it, which is a lot nicer and more cushiony. Is that a word, cushiony? Than my old camping pillow. I've got the hammock gear, 20-degree top quilt. Love this thing. Kept me really warm last night, and it got down to about 26 degrees, and it did great. So some people might think I'm a little overkill, but keep in mind that it is March and it's getting really cold tonight. So I got my cold gear thermals that I typically wear at hunting. They worked great for me last night, and my heat keeper socks, my down puffy coat, and a nice thick beanie, and my hunting gloves. So that is my sleep system for this trip. So, got any questions, let me know. Today was physically demanding day, and I greatly enjoyed the downtime by the Yellowwood Lake to reflect and meditate on how blessed I was to have this time to grow mentally and spiritually. Good morning, Yellowwood Lake. It is a cold morning. It is right at freezing, 32 degrees right now. Beautiful morning. Had a great camp out here. This will not do this justice, but that's Yellowwood Lake down there. So far away. Doesn't look like it on video, but what a beautiful morning. Okay, so I thought I'd stop for a second and talk to you guys about the area that I'm in. Very, very hard creek bed to navigate down in a ravine. There's like no white markers anywhere to be found on trees. Oh, I actually stopped right next to one facing the opposite direction from where I'm going. But this is just one of those examples of situational awareness. Make sure that you're following your maps and keeping an eye on your location and your surroundings, because I haven't seen a marker for probably at least a half a mile, and it's really easy to get turned around in here. There's a lot of blowdowns and things in the creek to navigate, so just always keep an eye, whether it's all trails. All trails has kind of led me astray several times on this trip, but it's at least a good reference point of where the trail kind of is supposed to be. But just always be abreast of your surroundings and your direction that you're heading. Keep an eye on your compass. So just keep an eye on those things. Okay, so perfect example what I was just talking about. Same area, and at some point the trail crossed this waterway here. I have no idea where, but I just pulled up all the trails because I've been following a non-existent trail for quite a ways now, and apparently it's on the other side somewhere. So definitely keep good track of where you're at.
Stop, stay up all night, wait till the morning light. Do what we wanna do, not what they taught us to. Run till the sidewalk ends, dive till we got the bend. Do what we wanna do, I know we'll make it through. We got soul, we don't need them. Hearts of gold, need no reason. Running to the night, you and I. Take my hand, we'll keep dreaming. Drive all night, chase the feeling. All I need in life is you and I. 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 Fly till we reach the stars, sing like the world is ours. Do what we wanna do, not what they taught us to. Jump, no need to fear. Stay, we got it all right here. Do what we wanna do, I know we'll make it through. We got soul, we don't need them. Hearts of gold, need no reason. Running to the night, you and I. Take my hand, we'll keep dreaming. Drive all night, chase the feeling. All I need in life is you and I. You and I. You and I. You and
I had seen several posts about this bin of geodes, and I was anxious to come across it and discover more about its story. I thought this was such a neat and unique gesture by the homeowners to offer hikers a geode and trade for a sock. Unfortunately, I didn't bring an extra sock along on the hike, and I wasn't willing to trade my darn tough for a geode, but I sure did appreciate the sentiment. This really made me appreciate that there are still kind people out there who would take the time to show an act of kindness and support for complete strangers passing by. In today's world, we pass by so many people in the street, walking in a park, and we never take the time to ask ourselves, how can we make even a small positive impact on their life? Even if it's a smile, a friendly greeting, or even an offering of a little treasure such as these geodes. Even though my legs were aching and my feet were tired from this 3-day hike, I had accomplished so much more than hiking the Tecumseh Trail. I had gained the mental clarity I greatly needed. I was able to reflect on the man I was when starting and the man I would strive to be when I finished. I was determined to go home a better father, husband, and human. I wouldn't allow life to weigh me down to the point I just wanted to give up. I have faced many hard times and letdowns over the last year, but I was determined to rewrite my script.
I would no longer be a victim of circumstance, but rather use the life I have to love better, to make an impact, and dedicate myself to a path that is worthwhile. I have many big aspirations, and as I cross this finish line to this adventure, there is no turning back.
I see my full runner. Made it. Oh, thank goodness. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Awesome. So the actual, the sign for the end of the Tecumseh Trail is actually it's a short little connecting trail up at the top of that hill, but you know what? I don't need a sign to tell me my accomplishments that I've done. I've proved what I needed to prove to myself. I'm happy.
I now understood what Einstein meant when he said, "Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better." I understood my purpose, and I will never be the same.
So, after spending 3 days in the woods, hiking, getting closer to God, where do you go to celebrate? No other. God's chicken. I'm about to destroy some food.